Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes, with Labour attacking the private schooling sector and basically telling them they've got to add VAT on. There's a whole load of court cases going through that's going to try and make this illegal anyway. But it's been revealed that up and down the country, many councils, Labour councils included, are sending pupils to public schools, private education. A lot of them are special needs. And the total bill is over £2 billion. That means that at 20% inflation, not 20% VAT, don't know why I'm getting inflation, 20% VAT, that's £400 million in VAT that these councils have to now find to pay back to the government. £400 million out of local authorities. And at the same time, of course, in order to cover costs, because obviously things are rising like, national insurance and that, a lot of these schools are going to be putting their prices up. Those are the ones that will survive, of course. The ones that survive are going to put the prices up, which means it's going to rise to maybe £500 million in VAT that local councils will be paying back to the government. Irony, isn't it? And then these local councils, of course, will then say, oh, look, we're so poor, can we have some more money from government? And luckily, government will have £500 million available to give them. It's a money go round, isn't it? And yet all of this, every time the money changes, the banks get their cut, of course. The government have got to pay somebody to sit at a desk and make those changes, make that and do the allocation. So more jobs created, more expense, complete and utter waste. And of course, they can't not put these pupils into these private schools because there is nowhere within those local authorities where they can be sent. The local authorities don't have the resources to educate these special needs children. And of course, the Public Accounts Committee has found that this spending is there. It's whirling its head. It is saying it's going to increase 46%, nearly 50% over the next few years. They're saying it's madness. The government are doing something that is complete and utter madness. It's almost as though they don't know what they're doing. So the committee said that councils are having to fund these places by law. They legally have to fund them, and so they're paying these public school fees for children. So one of the other downsides is that if a parent takes the child out of a public school because they can no longer afford it, but they are unable to get them into a state school near where they live for various reasons, then that child will then go back into its original public school, but this time paid for by the council. And so the child will continue to get its public school education. Only this time the parents will feel much better off because they're not paying for it. Mega bucks saved. Again, the madness of Labour policy. This is what happens when you let idiots make decisions. Now, even the Labour-run Department for Education 2 months ago now admitted that private schools do have a role to play. Their own Department of Education saying private schools do have a role to play in educating children. So why then are the Labour Party attacking them? Well, we know it's got nothing to do with the money. It's everything to do with the politics of envy. How dare these children get good educations? How dare they be educated in such a way where they cannot be indoctrinated by a socialist government and a socialist teaching union? Socialism at all stages. I would suggest that indoctrinating children with socialism is A, child abuse, and B, a crime against humanity. After all, socialism is a disease, isn't it? It's a cancer. Now, a spokesman for the group, Education, Not Taxation, said that the PAC's findings will show how much the government relies on independent and private schools to serve the most vulnerable children, which it calls into question again Labour's divisive rhetoric and ill-judged attacks on these schools. Yeah, I mean, they go, oh, look at it, oh, it's terrible school, oh, private education, terrible, private education. Well, what are they going to do with the special educational needs children? They haven't come up with an answer yet. The councils don't have the facilities. They don't have the skills. They don't have the trained staff. Some of these needs are very, very difficult to meet, shall we say. There could be severe mental, severe physical, severe emotional traumas, things like that. The councils can't provide that, but these public schools can. And of course, now reality is coming back to bite them. And they're sort of looking and going, oh God, what have we done? Oh, what have we done? Now, the Department of Education is warning that children with educational care and health needs are not able to be accommodated at the state schools. This is the Department of Education saying they can't do it. And due to what they're calling state sector capacity being maximised, it's unable to meet the rising demand, especially if the parents have to take their children out of the school. So where a parent may well at the moment be paying for this child to go, again, that will have to be met by the local authority. And so the local authorities are massively out of pocket because of governmental policy, governmental jealousy, governmental hate of public schools. Because, how dare you choose to educate your child? A recent National Audit Office report stated pupils with educational needs placed at private schools rose by 17,000 between 2019 and 2024. So in a 5-year period, they rose by 17,000. And there's no way they can hire enough teachers to deal with that. And that's the rise. That's not the total number of children in needs. It's the rise is 17,000. Now, Juliet Chua, who's the Director General of the Schools Group at the Department for Education, told the Commons Educational Select Committee it is worth saying that independent specialist schools can play and should play a key role in the system, particularly where there are low incidence needs. The significant growth in numbers suggests that there's a very high cost to be incurred on the reliance, and we rely... Wait. Dog say, wait. Do you want a biscuit? And anyway, they're saying there is an absolute reliance on what they call the independent sector. Local authorities absolutely rely on public schools. They cannot do the job without them. And now the government is doing its absolute best to destroy that. If you are the parent of a child with educational or whatever needs, special needs, this government is actively working to harm your child. If you're someone in that position and you voted Labour, do you regret it? Everyone else does. Thanks very much. That's it. I'm finished there. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.